All right, welcome, lovely lunar ladies. I am so excited to be here with Lainie Love Dalby, a very cherished client, as well as amazing soul sparkle that has crossed my path. I feel very fortunate. Welcome, Lainie. So happy to have you here.
Oh, so grateful to be here with you, beloved. Thank you.
Thank you for making the time to come in. And I really was super excited to introduce you to the community because of who you are, your mission, your big vision, and what you're bringing as to the table, like with your medicine and your sparkle. I just love sparkling shamelessly. So I'm going to read your bio because I cannot do it justice by coming up with a way to introduce you. I think you've done it so masterfully. So I want to just read to you, everybody, who Lainie is, and then Lainie, jump in. So this is your time to be in the spotlight and just receive everybody's going, oh my gosh, who's this goddess before us?
My Jupiter and Leo loves that.
There you go, right? So right there, lovely ladies, is, I've been honored with the opportunity to read Lainie's beautiful and powerful galactic chart. And so I thank you for throwing in your Jupiter and Leo royal energy into the space. So beautiful. So I am on LainieLoveDalby.com. So you've got to go to her website. And your website itself is an adventure. It's so well put together. It's so beautiful and just really speaks to your beautiful vibration. But so Lainie Love's mission, I love this. Lainie Love is a misfit minister and galactic rainbow shamanist on a mission to free human spirits to sparkle shamelessly. I love that. And step into their authentic power and sovereignty. Pegged as a quote unquote global midwife for the 21st century, she's an ecstatic embodied leadership mentor, a fierce trailblazer in women's spirituality and empowerment, a ceremonialist, a #1 best-selling author and sacred artist, and I'm so excited too, the creatrix of the Sacred Revolutionary Oracle deck. Whoops, she was upside down for me. But Lainie Love has been affectionately referred to by her clients as Halley's Comet in heels. Isn't that great? A true visionary, inspirational leader, and holy healer, a star being and powerful warrior that stands fiercely for all people and a potent source of love, wisdom, and support, who puts the sparkle back in spirituality. All right. Welcome, Lainie. So honored to have you here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm grateful to be here.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, you are in the midst of a major global festival. And tell us a little bit about that. What is happening in your world right now, and how can we be on the tail of your Halley's Comet?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So, I have 4 planets in Sagittarius. And so this portal of the new moon, solar eclipse, and you and I talked about this and did a reading to tune in around this of the dates. I knew I wanted to celebrate the deck. And, Sagittarius energy does like to party at times, right? Yes. And so I wanted to, the deck arrived on October 30th. So it's a Scorpio sun, Capricorn rising baby. We also did a powerful reading for the deck, and she's a powerhouse here to create some real transmutation. But I wanted to do something to really celebrate and honor the launch of this deck, but also to honor the medicine that is in it, which is all about personal and planetary transmutation and transformation, which is my greatest passion. That's why I'm here. That's what I'm doing. And, as part of my mission, I'm really here to co-create a constellation of millions of star beings that are sparkling shamelessly for the good of all, so that we can flood the house of humanity with light, love, and healing. So everything I'm doing is really aligned with that. And I wanted to get other people involved because my friends and beloveds, they were very excited about the deck. And so this has really been a project that's been lifted from the beginning in community. And so, it started with a crowdfunding campaign, and now even this part, it's like it's being lifted again, and it's almost sold out. There's less than 50 copies left now of the first limited edition. So if you want,
Wow.
get it quick.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's really this big moment of expansion. And so I wanted to do something that really brought other people's medicine in as well, because that's really what it's about. It's about transformation. And so I wanted to do something different that had never been done before. And I had a friend who had done a festival that I had participated in, but it was different than this. And it gave me the idea of doing something different than just like an interview summit. I was like, no, that's not what I want to do. That's not right. At the beginning, I did this Art of Divination Summit, which was interviews about divination and teachings and about oracle. And it was great. And this wanted to be something very different. And so when I was tuning into the deck, it's like, oh, assign each of the cards to the presenters and let them interpret it any way they want. So basically what it's ended up as is we have this amazing collection of over 30 global luminaries that are offering their medicine. There's songs, there is rituals, there's ceremonies, there's meditations, there's visualizations. We're getting people in their living room. We're getting people out in nature. It's really raw and intimate. People are really sharing in this way that is just like a raw transmission of their own medicine and essence that is inspired by the cards in the deck. And so, and for me, I chose people specifically based on their medicine with the cards, because I know the cards like the back of my hand, right? And so I knew who to assign what card to, including Shannon's card, which is the Stellar Galactic Council of Luminaries. Yes,
Isn't she pretty? I love her so much.
So, so it was really tuning in to the medicine of people that I know and love and really calling that in. And it's been such a beautiful celebration and people are really loving it. Thousands of people have joined us from all over the globe. And it's just a really beautiful, it's a beautiful gathering. And the intention was really to ignite a sacred revolution. That's what all of this is about. And a sacred revolution of love and reverence for the body, for the earth, for each other and the cosmos and the web of all life. It's really about coming home to our truth, remembering. It's a soul retrieval in a lot of ways, individual and collective root healing and soul retrieval journey. And if anything, it's a wake-up call. It's something that's here. I realized it needed to come now because it's a tool for us to move through the Pluto return, the upcoming Pluto return of the US. And it's really a deep alchemical container of transformation, as is everything I do. But this is the most accessible that I've ever done. Usually I create these big containers or ephemeral, sanctuaries, whatever it might be, initiation journeys. And this is like a real tangible, like, here's your container of alchemical transformation. If you want to go in and go deep, you can. And the other reason I wanted to do the festival this way is because this deck is the first of its kind, because it's multimedia and multidimensional. And so each of the cards comes with an embodiment practice in the ecstatic embodied leadership. So there's 50 practices you get with this deck, shamanic journeys, movement, all sorts of things that really helps you to embody and anchor in the energies. So if you want to go all the way with this deck, you can, and you truly could transform your life if you go all in with it. And that was sort of my goal. And similarly with the festival, for me, having a lot of Scorpio energy as well in my own chart and also in the deck, like we are transformers, we are lightning catalysts. That's why we're here. We're helping to really wake people up and help us to move into galactic Gaia unity consciousness, to raise the consciousness and vibration of the planet and humanity into this next level that we're here to be, so we can really live heaven on earth now, so that we can really co-create the new earth in a real way and this new paradigm that is here.
Well, I just think it's just so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much, not only for what you've created, but who you are and being on the planet at this time, because the revolution is interactive. Yes. It will take all of us. And I love you. And I love that you see and know and feel that each card is itself a soul retrieval. I was lucky and very fortunate and blessed to have a real reading with your deck with the High Priestess right here, right? And that reading is so jam-packed. Like, I feel like every card was an opportunity to go and have a soul retrieval. So one reading, I'm like clearing all these lifetimes or, experiences, whether they were, so that I could get the gold and alchemize, what that experience was about and get to the other side of it and, get my sparkle, get my shine up my to be shameless again, right? And so thank you for that. And another cool thing, and it's just so well thought out, from, you can tell this is from your heart and your soul, is that inside, I mean, the box itself is gorgeous, but when you open it up, it's its own altar. I love that you told me that. You're like, Shannon, it's an altar. And it comes with these gorgeous cards that are circles. I love the circle cards. And it comes with an amazing, that's a lot of information in this book, right? Like you said, the rituals, the way to use the deck, and then multimedia. I've never had a deck that has welcomed me so much into saying, make this a part of my life. Right? So you have this festival with all these people who are like stellar superstars, change makers, revolution. That's why I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy you had time to come and hang out for a bit in Lunar Ladies, because I really want everyone in my community to know who you are, to go over and get signed up and experience what you created, and then get kind of swooshed in to your beautiful vortex, because it's amazing.
Thank you so much. And the deck also doubles as a crystal grid on top with the flower of life. You can use it as an altar, as a crystal grid. I mean, it really, yeah, there's a lot of crystal medicine in the artworks in the deck. And they, you know, they are multimedia collage works, but they're not digital. These are all handmade, cut paper, paint, crystals. Some of them have 50 to 80 layers of intentions, prayers. And they've been distilled down into this medicine pill for you.
Yeah, it's like a homeopathic dose of this. That's right.
I've had to learn how to bring my medicine into the homeopathic dose as I burn people up, because I am the fire.
Right, because like one of these artworks, like how big are they in real life that you've had condensed down into this beautiful pill?
Yeah, I mean, this one is 6 feet tall. Right. The one that you were just holding, that one's like 5 feet long and thin. Yeah, that one is, a lot of them are long and thin. They're mostly totem pieces, a lot of them. So they've literally been condensed down.
From like human life size. Yeah. To this. And then this carries all of those multidimensional layers of medicine. Yeah. Yeah. So
and if you join us for the festival, I am doing live rituals every day, Facebook Live. You could also just tune in on Facebook Live to see those, but I'm standing in front of this painting for it, and it's massive, you know, and it's behind me, and it's the whole backdrop. So you can like actually see the translation of what this is in real life.
Yeah. I mean, wow. The whole experience that I'm having with the Sacred Revolution Oracle deck is just wild beyond measure. So
I'd like to blow your mind, baby.
Totally. So
wake up your body and your aliveness. I'm here to help you become wildly and unapologetically alive. So I love that.
Well, you are succeeding at your mission, definitely. So everyone, please do yourself a favor. 2022, get yourself some medicine, some sparkle. Find out more about Lainie Love and what she's doing and who she's doing it with and everything that's over there. So I'm very excited for my community to dance on over there, right? So another wonderful reason I wanted to have you here is because I wanted people to experience a card reading. And Lainie and I have this wonderful cosmic conversation going around the Venus retrograde as it is connecting to the Pluto return of the United States. Because as she goes retrograde coming up December 18th and 19th, she is occulting, conjuncting, marrying, merging, becoming one with Pluto, who is really the big star in the United States. And it is through the feminine vibration within all of us. No matter how you identify, we all have the lovely mixing of that within. They're playing a starring role in that space. So I'm so happy to have the High Priestess Creatrix amongst us. And if you would, do a card reading so that we can get a deeper insight into the alchemical process that we are now participating as a collective, because this isn't one person doing the Pluto retrograde return of the United States. It's all of us, whether you're in this the United States country or another country, we're all participating. It is about freedom. So, Lainie, what do you think?
Yes, let's do it. Let's dive in. And, I definitely have some of my own opinions as well about what I think this energy is all about and what we're going to need moving into 2022. And I can definitely weave that in as well.
Thank you. Great.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's tune in to that question of what it is that we need to know of this wild alchemical marriage that is coming. What is most going to support us? Inviting you to choose a number, beloved, between 1 and 5. First number that comes to you.
4.
Okay, we're going to choose 4 cards. Tuning in here. Okay. No jumpers yet. Sometimes cards like to jump out of this deck. They'll literally fly across the room if it's medicine you really need. She can get very pushy when she wants you to know something. She's going to make sure you know.
I love it. I love.
All right, tuning in here. Ooh. That's 2 of our 4. Okay. Oh. Okay. So this is who is here. I'm going to show you the cards first, and then I'll talk about them. So the first card is number 6. This is from the Remember, Returning Home to the Body. This is the card of Trust the Wisdom Within.
Beautiful.
Second card is number 37, and this is the Cosmic Tree of Life. This is from the section of the Oracle of Return and Coming Home to the Web of All Life, which we're diving into tomorrow in the festival, actually. So there's a beautiful song, a song priestess created a song for this card for us, a song transmission. So yeah, this is the Cosmic Tree of Life. Then we have the Whispers of the Sacred Winds. Card 17. This is from the Rewild, Returning Home to the Earth. And then we have card 50, the Wild card, the blank canvas.
No way, the Wild card came up. Whoa. That's interesting.
Yeah, and this is only in this limited edition deck. This card will not be again. So this is a limited edition. Only in this that we get the blank canvas, which it actually is a blank canvas, if you can see.
Yeah, the texture. It is the canvas.
So, I mean, this card is really all about co-creating your life as a great masterpiece for the good of all. That's what the energy of this is. And, this card also feels like the unpredictability of what is coming, that like we actually don't know. It's a big unknown. I see it more as a black canvas than a white one. But I like the white one. It brings a good vibration, some hope and some light. But it feels like it's this real unknown that we're stepping into. But that also means that it's ultimate potentiality, just like the womb. And that's what this card is. This card is ultimate expansion, ultimate potential. It's the Aquarian age card. It's really holding that 30,000 foot view of the vision of the world that we want to see, of that new earth, even when we don't know how we're going to get there or how that's going to manifest, even if we feel like we're stuck in a void and we're not sure how to bring that forward. This card really speaks to holding that fierce vision. And, so much of the energy of the deck is around rooting to rise and shine and soar. And so I love that this card is here because it is about rooted expansion. So these two cards together tell me that that rooted expansion is really being called forth now in a profound way. And in that rooted, grounded state of being, we will be able to soar to new heights. We will be able to co-create our lives as a great masterpiece. And I think too, we're co-creating the new earth collectively. We're creating a collective masterpiece with this period that we're entering into, because there's going to be dissolution. There's going to be, alchemical transformation. There's going to be transmutation. Things are going to be falling away. There's going to be shedding of the snake, of the serpent, and we are going to be purified in a lot of ways. This feels like purification too, like pure white purification. And we can bud anew and become metamorphosized with the butterfly, become a metamorphosized version of ourselves, become the highest and best version of ourselves with the peacock feather, which is an alchemical healing tool, and the crystal skull, which is one of the main symbols of personal and planetary transformation. And so you see all the hands there. It's like we're co-creating and weaving this new grounded, sustainable way of living and being and showing up in the world, because there she is showing up in deep prayer and reverence for this transformation. And she's holding it with the highest care and tending. These hands, to me, it's like they're tending to the magic. And there's a little owl medicine here, which is bringing in that deeper wisdom. And there's also some dolphin medicine, your favorite, bringing in some dolphin medicine of some play. We can still have fun with all of this, and we can bring in the wonder and the joy and really create something magical. And this card feels like, we know the way. We just need to trust our own internal wisdom. And it feels too, this being, which feels, it feels non-gendered, this being, but in a sense, it feels like this is the old paradigm being reconstructed. It's like, where this team is here working together for the butterfly, for the metamorphosis that is here with the serpent, shedding what no longer serves and showing up with the energy of the rose, which is the highest vibration frequency of love. So it's like we're almost under construction in a way, because Venus, this figure feels very Venusian to me, sort of like laid back and surrendered and in pleasure and joy. And really we're under construction as to the transformation and the metamorphosis that is possible for us now. And that, it's really going to lead to this new space of limitless expansion and potentiality. For us, that we really need to hold the vision and hold that fierce, firm vision of what it is that we want to see on the other side of this, even if we can't see, even if we feel blind, even if we're in the void, even if there is no clues, no information, even if it's just like blank slate and you're like, no. So this card together, it's like grounding that vision fiercely into the earth, like rooting it deep in and holding on for dear life kind of thing is kind of almost what I feel like with some of the energies that are coming. It's like really, sending our roots as deep down into the earth as possible, and as deep and far up into the cosmos as possible, sort of imagining that there's roots coming down out of the base of our spine, but also out of our crown, extending up into the stars and the heavens, and really firmly grounding us here in this plane of existence for whatever is to come, whatever transformation, so that we truly can root to rise and shine and soar in our full medicine, in our full shameless sparkle. And use this canvas as an opportunity, use this blank slate as an opportunity to really co-create our lives as a great masterpiece and our collective journey as a great masterpiece. I feel like this festival is in a way co-creating anew. It's like everything we do, we have an opportunity to pave the path for the new paradigm and what we want that to look like. And so I feel like the way the festival has manifested is a manifestation of the new paradigm that I want to see come forward. And we've all co-created that together. And that's also very Aquarian, right? It's collaborative, it's community, it's the visionary, it's the rebel, it's the revolutionary, it's the inventor. It's like we're inventing these new ways of being together and co-creating this new world. And so, yeah, it feels like it is a great time of metamorphosis. We are going to be in, and still are in, the chrysalis in a lot of ways of the caterpillar. And we don't yet know what the butterfly wants to look like. You know, we're all kind of feeling into those imaginal cells of like, oh, what color will our wings be? And what will our wingspan look like? And what will we want to eat? And what environment will we inhabit? And, you know, we're not sure about that yet. So it's just being in the goo, being in the soup goo of the chrysalis and allowing ourselves to be there and trusting the unknown. Surrendering, because this card is also about surrender and trust, and really leaning back and trusting as you fall into the arms of the universe that she's going to catch you. And so there may be times that we're feeling like free fall, because this also is a bit, you know, you can interpret this as free fall, and you can also flip it around. It has many. So she's like flying through the cosmos. Yeah, tumbling through the cosmos. And it's that real surrender and trusting in the plan and rooting in the vision and believing in what is possible, believing in the magic of the possibility, and really using this as an opportunity. This is a grand opportunity, but it's also disconcerting.
Right, because
it's a void.
Having some clues or a path to follow, or saying, help us. And it's really like, we are the help, or the ones we've been praying for.
Yeah. And we know if we dig down deep enough within ourselves, we have that wisdom as we connect back to our bodies, as we connect back to the earth and root into the earth, as we connect in and root into the cosmos and into our human family. We know how to do this. You know, and each of the healing rituals that I've been doing for the festival, it's all about just reconnecting to this energy that's already within us and releasing the wounds that are holding us back from that deep level of connectivity and homecoming that is innate.
Right. And that's how we already know what to do, because we can just remember that innate blueprint, which is, you know, we're doing this together as a family.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, you know, Pluto is like, okay, are you ready? It's time to surrender.
Yes. I love that when you said the free fall into the arms.
Surrender. And I feel like that's been coming up for a lot of people I know, especially on the body level. A lot of like, you know, with us moving into the eclipses and the Taurus North Node, Scorpio South Node, this like period, there's going to be a lot of embodiment stuff, you know, and that's why I feel like the ecstatic embodiment piece and the Ecstatic Embodied Leadership Academy and the work that we're doing is so important right now, especially as we move into this time, because I do think that there's the potential that it can be pleasurable. Like that's going to be my radical stance in 2022. Like the theme for me is sacred pleasure power, no matter how insane it gets. And no matter how like void, like, and totally unknown, it's like, I believe we can still lean in and have pleasure and be able to use that pleasure as a balm and as a radical act of resiliency in a lot of ways.
Yes, and it really ties so beautifully into the nodal shift into Taurus and Scorpio. I had heard another teacher just yesterday saying that he's all, if we're ever at a time to have a South Node in Scorpio, this is the time, because the Scorpios are like, that's what we do. We transform, bring it on, baby. We can do it, you know? So he was just like, what a great time for Pluto to return in America when it's a South Node in Scorpio.
Yeah. But I think also, I think also too, that there's a lot of opportunity there in the South Node in Scorpio for healing the scorpionic wounds and healing, especially how our sexual power has been repressed as women. Our Shakti life force has been suppressed by Christianity, which is one of the cards in the deck, the Own Your Sexual Power card. You know, it's like, there's a lot of wounding, and there's wounding around serpent medicine. Serpent medicine is all up in this deck, you know, and the serpent has been made to be seen as evil and all of these different things, when in fact, serpent medicine is what we are going to need to move through this and to shed and to, you know, the snake goes blind when it sheds. It temporarily goes blind. We can't see shit as we're alchemizing and releasing and shedding these old ways of being. And so, you know, it's a real, it's going to be a real testament to us to be able to tap into that medicine. But once the skin is shed, we are raw, vulnerable, primal, belly to earth, reconnected with the feminine, reconnected with the earth, reconnected with the essence of what matters. And that's what we need now. You know, this is a revival in a lot of ways of the feminine. And for me, part of the energy, this was the other transmission that I think wanted to come through today. Part of the energy of what is going to be needed as we move forward, which is a bit scorpionic, is the wild feminine. And, you know, for the last couple of years, you know, I was doing a lot of work with Aries, and it was fierce feminine and all, but now it's the wild feminine. And for me, in all the work that I do, I basically believe in this sort of trifecta energy, this sort of yoni mudra energy of our creativity, spirituality, and sexuality. And that those are basically, when they're flowing all together, we are fully activated in our power and sovereignty. And so what I'm really seeing, you know, and holding space for as we start to move into 2022 is this full activation of our wild feminine, creative, spiritual, and sexual power, because I believe that is the medicine that is going to carry us forward through this Pluto return, through this energetic, and to do it in a way that is going to be pleasurable and that is going to light us up and bring us wildly and unapologetically alive. And it's going to help us heal those old scorpionic shadow wounds so that we can reclaim our full Shakti life force, especially as female-bodied people. And that medicine is going to be the healing balm that helps to take us forward. And there is a ferocity to that, and there is a primal nature to that, and there is an erotic force to that. And I think all of that is going to create this profound alchemical crucible of ecstatic embodiment with that Taurus North Node that really has the potential for, like, expansive. You know, one of the practices actually in the festival is the orgasmic prayer practice. And that's the kind of energy that feels like is calling forward for this time. It's like tapping in to the source creative energy. Because, you know, that's what's going to help us really co-create this new world and to make it a masterpiece. It's tapping into that source creative life force Shakti energy and channeling that towards the transformation that is going to be needed. And it is an all hands on deck moment. It has been, but it's even more so. And that's one of the reasons why the image that I chose for the deck for the festival is that web, because it's the web of all of us. I'm trying to see if I can find it right now. It's the ecosystem of all of us together, and it's each of us bringing our unique nutrient to the ecosystem that is going to be needed for us all to thrive. And so, you know, in that, one of the ways that I'm feeling called to deepen actually in 2022 is with this particular activation of the wild feminine, creative, spiritual, and sexual power. And so actually from a reading that we did, I was really guided to do an event. I'm doing a half-day immersion on the full moon in Gemini this month that's called Ignite the Wild Feminine Within, where we're going to start to tap into these energies. And then there's going to be a much deeper dive in 2022 with our Sovereign Sisters Rising Mystery School, which is going to be a 9-month immersion that is really going to be focusing very deeply on the North and South Node energies, but really helping us to activate that trifecta of our true power and our true potential and really ignite the fullness of who we are here to be. And it does have a lot of serpent energy as well. It's sort of an awakening of the Shakti serpent rose codes as part of what's coming forward. That's part of the transmission. And so, you know, it's going to be a really juicy journey, and I'm super excited. And there are definitely cards from the deck that are about this energy, but, you know, it's like, it's the real pulse of what is pulling. And, you know, the deck is going to be a beautiful guide regardless as we move through these energies, and as we continue to heal and transmute the shadow, which has been an ongoing journey here. But it's one of the reasons why in the deck, each card has a sparkling essence and a shadow quality, a series of those, so that you can really choose. Are you working with the light energy when you pull this card, or are you actually being asked to go into the shadow and really finally clear and transmute that? And yeah, that just feels like a big part of the energy, is a big part of the calling and the transmutation that is available, so that we can truly awaken. And I feel like she is the expression of that wild feminine coming forward, being birthed out of the yoni portal into the new earth. This is like the heaven on earth. It's Eden here now, which is possible for us.
Amazing. It's amazing because, wow, I mean, a little bit speechless over here. But I in my own kind of processing of what's happening, right? And paying attention to how everything is lining up and moving and the timing. But I keep hearing that same call, like to return to Eden. It is a time of returning. And then that Eden space is, I love that you said, you know, this could be an ecstatic experience. It does not have to be fearful or painful. And in some realms, possibly maybe before they took away our knowledge of how to midwife and to give birth ecstatically, it was an enjoyable birthing of the goddess.
Yeah.
You know, so I just feel like there's so much in that card number 50. There's so much possibility. Like, I know for myself, I want to do that 9-month journey next year, because I've come to the realization too that it's time to fully step into my power.
Yeah.
And what am I waiting for?
Yeah.
And I have to do it through the body. I happen to be a soul with the container, and it's kind of a nice container. So why don't I get into it and really experience it?
Yes, 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 yes. That is the medicine.
Yeah, so I just thank you for your boldness and taking this revolutionary act to really stand in your power. Like that is just
Well,
in motion.
Yeah. And, you know, the body is one of our core portals to our power. If we're not in our bodies fully, we cannot be in our power. And, you know, my whole healing journey was coming into the body. I was completely disembodied. I used to weigh 100 more pounds than I do now. I've gained and lost over 1,300 pounds in my lifetime up until 8 years ago, when I broke all the patriarchal chains of the dieting industry and all the other things. And, you know, the body has been my main place of alchemical transmutation. It has been the main call. And that's why it is such a focus of all the work that I do, you know, and that's why, like, I had to have the deck be multimedia, because otherwise it just stays in the mind. It can't just stay in the mind, you know, it's got to come into the body. Like, yes, the oracle is important, and I love oracle, and we have to bring it in and anchor it in the flesh. And, you know, I loved what you said, because the card I pulled for tomorrow for the festival is Emerge Through the Rainbow Birth Portal.
Oh.
And so, you know, it really, and this like catalytic lightning strike, and Saturn is up there. And, you know, this collage actually came through after the Great Conjunction. This was my integration collage for that. So it was like the start of this journey is what it feels like. And so, you know, we really are birthing a new version of our power. And I do believe when especially female-bodied people are in their full power, possible.
Mountains move, literally, people, they move.
And we need that. That Shakti life force energy is going to be what carries us through, and what superpowers the alchemical transmutation that is here, that Pluto is bringing, that, you know, that all that is happening right now is bringing. I mean, we're at such a crucial point in human history. And so, yeah.
And I think that what we do individually for ourselves, and we finding our own medicine, and we really allow ourselves to have that, whether it's a breakthrough, a transformation, all the above, to get to that ecstatic state of being on a daily basis. Like, and sometimes, and you know, ecstasy can come in many forms.
Yeah.
Like even when we meet our shadow or having a dark night of the soul experience, like that in itself is a beautiful moment.
Oh yeah. And getting to the place where we can be in a relationship with all of life that is erotic. Because being in relationship with the trees, with plants, with flowers, I mean, all of life can be this ecstatic experience if we allow ourselves to lean in and walk on that edge. And I feel like that's the greatest gift. I mean, being a starseed and knowing that I work with so many starseeds and people are like, why did I choose this journey? Why did I come here now?
What was I
thinking? But like, okay, we have this thing, this like flesh suit, this earth suit. And it's like, let's like really bring it to the fullest expression in our physical embodiment that we can. Since we did choose this, like, let's go all in. Let's surrender. We chose this. So let's have it feel juicy and delicious and let it light us up and bring us alive. And that's the kind of energy that is going to help to combat this intense fear vibration in our culture. You know, this intense energy that's only going to likely increase. And when we're in our bodies, we remember the truth.
And we can tell truth from lie in our bodies.
That's right. And we can slough off that fear vibration. It doesn't get in when we are raising our vibration and frequency because of the energies we are marinating in on a regular basis. And because if our baseline is ecstatic embodiment, that energy can't even touch us.
Exactly. And when we're in that state of body, mind, spirit, I feel like that essence of our soul is that perfume of the rose. Yes. And nothing can take that away.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
That's the truth.
I mean, yeah, Lainie, your timing is spectacular with the North Node over the next 18 months, starting in January. Like the North Node of Taurus is like, if you're not having a juicy time in your body, you're not in alignment with the cosmos. So.
Exactly. And if you're not healing the like sexual guilt and shame shadows and the repression of our Shakti life force with that Scorpio South Node, it's like,
which is where the juice for the fuel is. That's the fuel for this delightful return to the garden.
Yes. And you know, it's interesting because I've been receiving the downloads about the mystery school for almost 2 years now. And it was in having a conversation with one of my dear sisters who's an astrologer in October that when she started talking about the North and South nodes, I was like, aha. This is why I've been receiving these messages. And then I started going in deeper and then it all opened up and I was like, okay, you know, at first I was here and like, okay, what's all this about? And then it just became completely expanded and illuminated. And I saw the light and I was like, okay.
Well, you definitely saw the light and then you took the next step and became the light. So thank you for fearlessly leading the way. Oh, I feel so lucky that, you know, all of us get to be on the, you know, in the same boat with you, right?
Well, we're all in it together. That's the core of what I do as well. Is I hold space for us to a non-hierarchical space for us to rise. We're collectively holding the space together. And the reason that I do so much to gather others in community, in sisterhood, in, you know, learning and practice community is because that is how we are going to create the transformation. It's not alone, it is together. And it's by bringing all of our little puzzle pieces together that we're going to form that larger vision that we can hold on to as we move through this time in the void.
Yeah. Wow. Your reading. Thank you for the High Priestess for the card reading. I really feel, especially I just love like with the card 50, it really feels like the eclipse, you know, that we are in now. Right, we're in that space that's opening up the next 6 months, and then we have the Venus retrograde where she's free falling back, right, and that's where we can like take our own kind of experience moving forward, and then seeing the more rooted we are, the higher, the more that we rise, and I've also been seeing like this feeling that we're getting our wings.
Yeah.
You know, so if you start hearing bells going off, yes, every time the bell rings, the angel gets their wings. And we're going to be hearing lots of bells from now through the next
Don't be worried if your wings start to really come out, just let them out. Just go with it, right? So ladies, so we can go still participate in the global festival. And then how do we get to participate with the full moon ceremony that's coming up?
Oh, yes. Well, one second. I want to show you one more thing, because I believe that this is the card which came up in our reading, I think.
Yeah.
But I think is the Pluto return of the US. And I made this card probably 5 years ago, but I just wanted to show it to all of you.
Oh, thank you. I mean, like everybody, really pause the video and really tune into this card. There is so much in this card of possibility.
Yeah.
You know? It's amazing too. So another cool thing about your amazing art and your ability to tap multidimensionally into the mind of God. In traditional Chinese medicine, there's four stargates in the body, like stargates are like portals where we can really connect, and they're in the hand and in the feet. So I love that in that image we had the foot turning into the hand, and I was like, oh, that's both stargates. So you have to activate it with Divinity Rising.
Well, yeah, you're gonna have to tell me more about that. I don't know about the stargates and the hands, but I've done an art piece of that. I didn't know what it was, but that's totally what it is. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, in terms of the festival, you can absolutely still participate in. We are on day 3 today, and all of the days have a 48-hour replay. So the only day that isn't available anymore is day 1, but there is a lifetime access pass. If you want to come join, it's only $55 for over 1K of juicy medicine, and all the proceeds. All the proceeds are going to the production costs of the Oracle deck. And so, yeah, and then you can have as long as you want to access the medicine and to receive the gifts. And of course, Shannon's gifts as well. Hers will be tomorrow. So definitely come in the festival so you can experience Shannon's medicine tomorrow. And then in terms of I'm going to be announcing the full moon, Ignite the Wild Feminine Within. I'm going to be announcing that later this week. So you'll want to get on the list. So even you can just sign up for the festival to get on the list. And then you'll get the announcement about it. That is the best way. And so, yeah. And also if you want where the video is here, you can always leave a little note if you want to get on the wait list. Yeah, because I am going to start a little wait list for it. I just haven't done it yet. So there's been a lot.
Oh yeah, you've been busy.
But trust, if you're on the list, you will get the information. It's going to be really obvious. Ignite the Wild Feminine Within is here. You'll see the email come through. And
I just want to add, definitely get on Lainie's email list because she sends the best emails. Like I'm always like, oh my gosh, like your emails are chock full of so many wonderful tidbits. I'm like, oh, I'm taking a little bite of this. Oh, I take a little bite of that. Oh, I love this. And I'm like, oh, and I never throw your emails away. I'm like, I gotta come back and read that again.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I've been doing readings from the deck for the full moon and new moon on my YouTube. So there's lots of ways to stay in touch. And if you're following me somewhere on social media, it's always at Lainie Love Dalby, LAINIE. You will know and be able to jump in, and we would love to have you join us.
Yeah, so definitely follow Lainie on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and then of course on the email list for sure. And then go over and get that global festival is awesome. I'm definitely going to sign up for lifetime access. I love it. And then you have only a few decks left. Is that right? For people.
I do. Yeah. There's only about 50. Yeah. There's only about 50. So if you do want the deck, I would order right away. We can put the links below or wherever. Yeah, we can put the links and yeah, definitely get yourself a deck if you feel called. And if not, and if you miss it, there is going to be a wait list for the deck as well, but you can book a reading with me as well.
Right.
Yeah, and I'd be happy to offer all of your beloveds a special 33% off with the code Scorpio Love, all caps.
Scorpio Love. Okay,
I'm sure that's it. I'll have to check, but I'm pretty sure that's it.
Okay, yeah, and if not, we could always update the code, but I highly recommend getting an amazing reading with you. It was awesome. I'm still like downloading it all.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of integration from it for sure, but
Yeah.
they'll definitely superpower your 2022.
Yes, and that's quite the understatement. Definitely. I got direction from that. Like you know, your baby, right? We did her chart.
Yes, she's the boss.
She's the boss, and she will be very clear, especially if you have a role to play,
Yeah.
where she wants you.
Yeah,
Like,
people have been saying,
"Oh,
I keep pulling this card over and over and over again. It's like, yeah, she's bossy. She's pushy. If she wants you to know something and you're not listening, she's going to keep handing it to you until you're like, hello.
Yeah, she very much is like, yeah, she's like, hello, I'm going to show up everywhere in your life till you see me. Yeah, zoom, zoom, zoom. Yes, I love her. She's awesome. And
Yes,
she reminds me of, you know, the Pele the god. I know, Pele the goddess, when, you know, when you're on her soil. And she's like, you know, this is just how I do things. I mean, I'm just barely doing this to you, but this sound feels like, "Rah!" You know? So you're beautiful, beloved. You know, I know she's being as gentle as she can, but.
well, my nickname is the Volcano Queen for a reason.
Oh, that's a great nickname. So yes, if you need some volcano queen energy in your life to get you going, Lainie Love is
Yes.
your BFF.
This Yoni Serpent Priestess will deliver.
Yes, totally. And you'll be better for it, let me tell you, from personal experience. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Lainie Love. And you're welcome back anytime you want to share in the community. The door is always open.
Thank you so much, beloved. It's been a joy to be here with you and everyone, and just sending so much love your way, and hope to see you over in the festival or in Sacred Circle soon. And would love to support you in any way we can on this revolutionary journey. And let's keep at it, and let's hold the vision. We've got this, we can do this, and let's come together and really co-create Eden. It's time.
Yes. Oh, please. Oh, it'll be so beautiful. I can already taste it. Thank you again.
Bye,
All right.
beloveds.
Bye for now.